Welcome to Behind the Law with Justin Clark, the show that takes you behind the law and answers your toughest legal questions.
Welcome back to another edition of Behind the Law with Justin Clark. And today, Robert Palmer will be our special guest. Here's what we're talking about right now. We're talking about the Under One Roof program and how Justin Clark is bringing together professionals to help you get through the mortgage process at a very affordable price. And the savings, the peace of mind are just unsurmountable. You just can't beat it. We're taking your calls right now on the air at 855-297-9696. You can call the office, 321-282-1055. Let's go to Robert in St. Cloud. Robert, how you doing? What's your question?
Okay. I own property in New Jersey, and I moved down here about 2 years ago in St. Cloud.
Right.
And I'm looking to sell my property up in Jersey. When I first purchased my first home, the owner held the mortgage. Do you people set up a schedule? And if so, how much would it run me?
I mean, the price is going to not be very much money at all. And of course we do that. We're happy to help you. And in fact, what I've seen, Robert, and I know it's a little different for you because you are in New Jersey, but much like the credit issues, Newt, is people haven't wanted to look at what their house is worth. Okay, because every time they go to Zillow.com, less. Now is the time to look and see what your house is worth, because we've seen increases of even up to 30% in the last year. But I don't trust Zillow. I don't trust ePraisal, and I'll tell you why. Because every time you go to both of them, it's totally different. The only thing that I really trust is having a local realtor who knows the market do some research on your house and tell you what it's worth. And I know, Robert, you have a good program for doing that. Tell me a little bit more about that, because I trust that program.
Yeah, this kind of came from you and I talking about people who were going through a short sale, trying to sell a house. They thought they were upside down. It turned out they weren't. And so we set up this home value hotline. You can call it toll free, and you can find out what your house is worth. A local real estate expert is going to take a look at your house, look at comparable sales in the neighborhood, and really tell you exactly what that home could sell for today, which is the value. That's what it's worth. That's what you want to know, not some computer algorithm based out of a server in California. The number to call to get that totally free, no cost, home value hotline, 866-222-8231. Again, that's 866-222-8231. That's the toll-free recorded message, 24-hour home value hotline, completely free. Have a local real estate expert tell you what your home is worth right now. And the cool thing, too, Justin, is I've had some people call back and say, hey, while they were telling me what the house was worth, I was asking them some questions about, well, if I did these upgrades, what do you think that would do? Or do I need to repair my roof or my air conditioning? Or if I did want to sell my house, how fast could it sell? So beyond what a computer can spit out and give you a value, these people will give you free advice, like we do here on the air, free advice on what your home is worth and other things you can do when it comes to upgrades and whatever else to increase your home's value, completely free. Again, home value hotline, 866-222-8231. Give it a call. You'll hear my voice. Leave some basic details, and a local real estate expert will get back to you with the value of your home.
But this isn't some sort of like computerized program. It just spits a number out, right?
This is a human being, someone who is daily setting prices in the market. They're out there every day, seeing what homes are selling for, setting the prices of homes that are selling. They have the most accurate, up-to-date data, and completely free, they're willing to tell you what your home is worth and do this free home valuation. And one more time, that's 866-222-8231.
So this home value hotline, it's really a human being that's going to tell you what your house is worth. And they're not using computer programs. They're looking at their local market and seeing, okay, let's see what house sold last week. Now, these Zillow and ePraisals, they simply cannot keep up with how fast this real estate market is changing. However, the local real estate agent who you're going to talk to through this program, this is their life. This is what they do.
No obligation, right?
There's no obligation.
You're not having to
this
sign anything with anybody.
There's no signatures, no nothing needed. But you're going to have a real person on the ground in your neighborhood who does this every day. And I have people sometimes call me, Robert, and they say, my house is worth $600,000, but I'm only getting offers for $300,000. No, well, your house is worth $300,000. I mean, everything is worth what someone will pay for it.
It's like a stock.
Exactly.
We're going to take a break, but here's something to think about. Are you working on a short sale? Whether you're working on a short sale or are currently in the market for one, the offices of Gregory and Clark can help you. Just give their office a call right now at 321-282-1055. We'll be right back.
If you're having any legal problems that could cost you your home, remember that the offices of Gregory and Clark are your one-stop shop for saving your home. Short sales, foreclosures, bankruptcy, refinancing, it's all under one roof. Just give them a call right now at 321-282-1055, and you can schedule a free consultation. We'll be right back.
I see people get railroaded all the time by these so-called investors, fly-by-night people, and you end up losing your house. You get a lawyer before you sign any sort of paperwork with these people at all.
Stay tuned. Justin Clark will be right back with more Behind the Law. Welcome back to Behind the Law, the show that takes you behind the law and answers your toughest legal questions.
Hey, Karen in Orlando, how can these gentlemen and their associates help you?
Hi. I'm calling because my sister and I inherited a home with no mortgage. We are behind in taxes of 2005. And we also have a lien for 52. Can I get a loan for that to pay off those costs?
So you haven't paid your property taxes in how long, Karen? I'm sorry.
It was 2010.
Okay.
And what's the other lien you said for 52?
It's a litigation lien from the probate case. The attorney put a lien against the property, so we're trying to first clear that taxes.
Yeah, I think. Do you have any idea how your credit is, Karen? Have you taken a look? Have you gone on one of these sites like myfico.com and taken a look at your credit to see how things are?
No, I know it's not that well. There's a lot of.
Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, when you're trying to borrow, to take cash out, when you're trying to take your equity in a property and convert it to cash, the credit standards are actually a little bit tougher. If you're going to buy a new home or if you're just trying to refinance your outstanding balance on a mortgage, but in your case, because you're taking cash out, and the fact that cash is being used to take care of some delinquent obligations between taxes and this lien from an attorney, that makes it even a little bit tougher. So again, yes, you technically can borrow that money. Absolutely, you can convert the equity in your house to cash. It's just a matter of you have to be able to qualify, and then two, we have to look at the reason behind that, and why are the taxes delinquent? Is it because they were delinquent when you inherited it? Is it because you're unable to pay them? These are all things we have to look at as a lender. So we'd be happy to take a look at that, for you, and you definitely can get a loan. Again, this may be a situation where a local bank is a better option because it sounds like the loan balance is going to be very small, and by the time you get the appraisal and the surveys and the title work and everything else required to get a first mortgage, it may be prohibitively expensive. So your best bet might be to go try to use the house as collateral with a local bank and try to get some type of signature loan that doesn't require all of the underwriting and legwork that a traditional mortgage does.
Who lives in the house with you? Anyone, or is it just you, Karen?
No, the house is empty right now. Okay. It's in Miami.
I got you.
So I have another question. Now, my sister found an investor who is willing to buy the home from us. Will we have to cover those costs before we sell this property?
Yeah, I mean, if you have an investor who's trying to do this, and if they're going to throw the word land trust out and these sort of things, you need to hire a lawyer to help you through that process, because I see people get railroaded all the time by these so-called investors, fly-by-night people, and you end up losing your house. You get a lawyer before you sign any sort of paperwork with these people at all.
Yeah, any funds you receive from a sale or anything, they're going to have to go to pay off those liens first. That's why the liens are filed. That's how lien theory works here in Florida. They get the first dollars, and then whatever is left over will be able to go to you. So those would have to be satisfied first before anything else could happen with that property. When it came to borrowing money or selling the property, they're going to get their money first for the liens.
Thanks for the call, Karen. Martha in Davenport, what's going on?
Hey, Martha, welcome to the show.
Hi. Good afternoon.
Go ahead, Martha.
Hi, thanks for calling today and taking my call. I have a foreclosure, like 3 years, so close to 3 years now, and I also have a few two credit cards that was kind of maxed on me. And right now I would like what I needed to do to improve the credit if I want to get to another property, if I can get any way that I can get some help.
Martha, join the club, because in Central Florida, in Florida in general, so many people have been through what you've been through, this whole foreclosure crisis. People lost jobs. There was no construction going on. It's been a nightmare for you and many, many thousands of your neighbors, okay? And now everyone's asking the same question. When do I buy again? When can I buy again? And that's what the entire point of the Under One Roof process really is to help you get back in your house. Now, I think you're asking some specific questions about when, how long. Robert, how long do we have to wait?
Yeah, when it comes to a foreclosure, the waiting period is pretty much 3 years. That's for a new FHA loan. But it's important that at that 3-year mark that the rest of your credit is in line and everything else is perfect. And I think that's where people can benefit from Under One Roof, because you can really help them get everything perfect. Because again, just because you're at year 3 doesn't mean you're guaranteed to get an approval. A lot of lenders pitch it this way. You still have to meet all the other credit requirements. And if anything, you got to be a little stronger because you did have this past foreclosure when the underwriter is looking at your file. So again, 3 years is the minimum waiting period. But after 3 years, you have to have reestablished yourself and have to have done some things right to show you're ready to get back in the housing market. And that's the type of things you help people do with Under One Roof, is making that plan so that when they hit the 3-year mark, they are as strong as possible and have the best chance of getting back into that housing market.
And people get confused as well. People say, I went through foreclosure. How long is it? But you have to understand there are different foreclosure processes, so to speak. Some people just let their house go. Hey, bank, I'm leaving the keys on the counter. Take them. Have a good life. And I hope I never talk to you again. Some people did a deed in lieu of foreclosure, or some people did a short sale. And these differences do make a little bit of a difference, because the people who just let their house just go into foreclosure, that's a little bit of a different credit situation.
Well, and you lose control of the time frame. I mean, when you let that happen, the bank could take 4 or 5 years before they even finish the foreclosure. And this entire time, you can't buy another house. And then the 3 years doesn't start until they finish the foreclosure. So again, we talked about this on my show. The best thing you can do is be proactive. If you're anywhere in a situation where you're somewhere in the foreclosure process, a lot of people want to bury their head in the sand. You've got to be proactive. You've got to go out and hire a great lawyer like Justin Clark. You've got to go out there and get a real estate agent on your side who can list that property. Call the home value hotline, find out what it's worth, see what you can do. Be proactive. It's so tempting to just, kind of bury your head in the sand and let the house go, but that's the worst decision you can make. You have to take control. Whether it ends up being a foreclosure or a short sale or whatever, take control, be proactive, and take steps so that you control the outcome and you're not just out there in limbo for the next 5, 7, 10 years. I know people it will be a total of 10 years from the time they left a house before they can buy the next one, because it took the bank so long to foreclose, then they couldn't start their 3-year waiting period. We're talking about 10 years. It's a long time to be out of the housing market because they weren't proactive and didn't take the steps to take control of the situation.
We're going to take a break, but before we go, is your house underwater? Depending on your situation, you may be eligible for an interest reduction through HAMP or HARP programs. Call right now and schedule a free consultation with the offices of Gregory and Clark, 321-282-1055, and Justin Clark may be able to lower your monthly payments and save your home. Don't pay more than your house is worth. Call now. We'll be right back.
Behind the Law is pre-recorded free TV, but you can ask your question live on the radio Sundays at noon on News 96.5. And if you need legal advice right now, Justin's associates are standing by. Just give the offices of Gregory and Clark a call at 321-282-1055.
For less than $500, somebody can have an attorney in their corner. To tell that seller, hey, call my attorney. I'm not paying to fix that roof. You agreed to it in the contractor. Or hey, if you don't close on this house on time, talk to my attorney. These are powerful statements you can make as a home buyer.
Stay tuned. Justin Clark will be right back with more Behind the Law. Welcome back to Behind the Law, the show that takes you behind the law and answers your toughest legal questions.
Welcome back. Yes, we're Behind the Law with attorney Justin Clark, and we're taking your calls right now at 855-297-9696. Give us a call. You want to talk to our panel. We have not only Justin Clark of Gregory and Clark Attorneys at Law, we've got RP Funding Zone, Robert Palmer. And you see these guys on TV on Saturday morning between 10 and 11. You hear them on the air, Robert at 8 o'clock Saturday, 2 o'clock Saturday, and oftentimes showing up on Justin's show and vice versa. Justin, of course, every Sunday right here at noon. Give us a call, 855-297-9696. Under One Roof program and the Home Value Hotline. Two big things.
The Under One Roof program is it's a 4-step process to get you back in the housing market. We're going to look at your credit, evaluate your credit, come up with a plan to get your credit back to normal. We're going to deal with the contract negotiations with the realtor. Hey, Justin, a realtor can do that. Listen, no. We need to make sure we understand these are big contracts. This is the biggest purchase of your life. You need to have a lawyer help you through this process. Number 3, we're going to make sure that you are not overpaying for your mortgage. And number 4, I'm going to be there to represent you at that closing table when you're signing your life away. And everyone says, just sign here. Don't worry, don't ask any questions, just sign here. We're not doing that anymore, Rob. Those days are over. I call it the old days of Winter Park past buying real estate. They're done. We're done.
Yeah, I'll tell you, Justin, I've seen a lot of transactions in my time in the mortgage business, and I tell you, I wish every single consumer had an attorney in their corner. And in the past, it's been too expensive. I would love for every person we deal with to have an attorney, somebody to look at the paperwork, to make them feel comfortable, to make sure they're not being taken advantage of by the sellers or the inspectors or anybody else in the process, and that the contract was written correctly for their interests and their needs. But in the past, it's been too expensive. So now all of a sudden, you come out with a program where for less than $500, somebody can have an attorney in their corner. To tell that seller, hey, call my attorney. I'm not paying to fix that roof. You agreed to it in the contractor. Or hey, if you don't close on this house on time, talk to my attorney. These are powerful statements you can make as a home buyer, and to have that in your corner. And then have someone help you work on your credit, all for under $500. I mean, it's amazing to me. So if you're out there thinking about buying a home, I used to have a TV commercial where I said, call me first. Now I wanted to call you first because honestly, if everybody has an attorney in their corner, a lot of the games that get played in our industries go away. A lot of the people being taken advantage of, a lot of the guys overcharging fees on mortgages, all this goes away. And that's what we need. That's what we need to get this industry back on track, to get the housing market moving back in the right direction, is people to have uninterested third party representation who can look at things from an objective standpoint and say, this is a good deal, this is not a good deal, this is a good deal, this is not a good deal. And again, for less than $500, that's the really amazing part about what you're doing. And I love that, you're so successful in all the other law you practice that you're basically willing to almost donate your time. I mean, for what you're charging here, there's no profit in this for you. It's about giving back and taking care of people in the housing market because you see the benefits of that just like I do.
It's like my mission in life, really. The first thing I do when someone comes in for the under roof is I send a letter via email, of course, because we don't send letters anymore, to the realtor, to the title company, and to the mortgage guy, saying, listen, I'm not coming in here trying to screw up this transaction. I'm coming in here to make sure my client is well taken care of. And do you think that this is going to be the file that realtor, that mortgage guy wants to screw up or try to push my client around?
Absolutely not.
It doesn't happen anymore. They say, okay, Mr. Clark, great. We're looking forward to working with you. And shockingly, they always seem to go pretty smooth lately.
We're going to take another break, but you can get legal advice right now by calling Justin's office at 321-282-1055. Associates are standing by. We'll be right back.
Is your house underwater? If you owe more than your house is worth, Justin Clark may be able to get you an interest reduction through the HAMP and HARP programs. It's an easy way for you to keep your home or even just lower your monthly payments. Just give the offices of Gregory and Clark a call at 321-282-1055. There's never any charge for a consultation. So let Justin show you your options. We'll be right back.
If you do the short sale or you do the deed in lieu or you work with the bank, you now control the timeline of when this event completes and you can start rebuilding your life.
Stay tuned. Justin Clark will be right back with more Behind the Law. Welcome back to Behind the Law, the show that takes you behind the law and answers your toughest legal questions.
Jennifer, how can we help you?
Yes, I am in an interesting situation. I have paid my mortgage all this time, first and second mortgage. I have HSBC, and they are not modifying any loan. They're not working with you at all. They have said that because I'm up to date, I believe they have said I could do deed in lieu of, walk away and turn the keys in, deed in lieu of.
Who's the second mortgage with?
Isn't that the same as just walking away and giving them the keys, and how does that affect your credit?
It's different. Who's the second mortgage with?
Pardon me?
Who is it? You said you have a second mortgage, correct? And who is that with?
I have first and second mortgage with HSBC.
Okay, both with HSBC. Let me tell you something about HSBC. They're not doing loan modifications. I can't tell you exactly why, but we're having zero success with HSBC in doing loan modifications. So if indeed it comes down to the point where you have to get rid of the house, instead of, again, leaving the keys on the kitchen counter and saying, take it, bank, I don't want you to do that. I want you to hire a realtor to do a short sale and hire a lawyer to negotiate the deficiency away. If you just let the house go, this could linger for years, and your credit's going to be bad for years. You need to consider a short sale or a deed in lieu of foreclosure. I'm just telling you that 9 times out of 10, the bank wants you to try to do the short sale prior to the deed in lieu.
Yeah, the big thing is, Jennifer, you take control back. If you do the short sale or you do the deed in lieu or you work with the bank, you now control the timeline of when this event completes and you can start rebuilding your life. If you just walk away from the house, you could wake up 4, 5, 6 years from now and that house is still in your name. The bank hasn't gotten around to the foreclosure yet. It's been destroying your credit for 4 to 5 years straight before you get any type of closure. So I think the biggest difference is by taking control is you can get the event out of the way sooner and start moving back track. And that's where it's important, like Justin said, to have an attorney on your side when you're going through this and a real estate agent and get that house listed. The other big thing is if you've had a bankruptcy and discharged your home, get it sold. If you can sell it before the foreclosure, you can avoid the foreclosure event completely. So the best thing to do is not bury your head in the sand. Reach out to professionals. Reach out to people like Justin who can help you figure this out, who can help you make the best decisions on how to move forward so that you can get your credit back on track. Because anything you do is going to hurt your credit. It's about what you can then do to get back on track as soon as possible.
And you might want to even see what the house is worth now, because even in West Palm Beach, I know that market pretty well as also, and the market is coming back. I mean, it might be to a point where you're not even underwater anymore. So anyone out there listening, now is the time to see what your home is worth. Let's not bury our heads in the sand anymore. But I'm telling you, I don't trust these online versions of here's what your house might be worth, kind of ish.
Or a range even. We'll give you a range of what your house could be worth.
Here's a range. And if you are out there listening right now, if you want to see what your house is worth, I need you to call the Home Value Hotline. This is a real number with real people who are really going to tell us what the house is worth. What is the phone number again?
Yeah, Home Value Hotline, 24 hours a day. It's a recorded message. Leave your information. A local real estate expert will get back to you in 24 to 48 hours with the value of your house and answer any questions you have. 866-222-8231. Again, that's 866-222-8231. If you don't have time to write down the number, you can go to rpfunding.com and get that information, or call our office, and we'd be happy to transfer you over to the Home Value Hotline.
And if you guys have any questions at all, call the office, 321-282-1055, gregory-clark.com. Good to see you, brother. Another show in the can. It was fun.
Yeah, I love coming in here with you on the Sundays. It's a good vibe, good show. We always have a good time in here together. You know, it's great to come in here and help people. I know that's why we both love giving up our time on the weekends to answer people's questions and really give back, because the last thing you want to see is somebody making a bad decision on one of the largest transactions of their life. Don't forget Under One Roof. If you are looking at buying a home, if you're anywhere in the early stage of that home buying process, just talk to these guys. The consultation's free. Have a conversation with them. Understand what Under One Roof and what having an attorney in your side can really do for you.
That'll wrap up our discussion, but there's still so much to talk about that could save your home. So if you have questions, just give the offices of Gregory and Clark a call right now at 321-282-1055. Never a charge for a consultation, and it could save your home. We'll see you again next week, right here on TV 27.
Thank you for watching Behind the Law with Justin Clark. Be sure to join us again next week as Justin takes you behind the law and answers your legal questions.